What's up, Silver Stackers? Thank you for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. The famous celebrity author Robert Kiyosaki from the book Rich Dad Poor Dad is saying that silver's price is going to $500 and also that the US dollar will crash. Now, this is pretty crazy. This article came out today, by the way, October 3rd. But the craziest thing about all of this is that I'm actually going to be interviewed on his show tomorrow. The Rich Dad Radio Show, his YouTube channel has 2.5 million subscribers, and I'm the next guest tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard. I appreciate everyone for, the congrats and words of encouragement. Talk about being nervously excited. And this is not even about me. Yes, this could be huge for my career. Yes, this could get me a lot of notoriety. But this is much bigger than me. This is about me going on his show to talk to his audience about why it's so important to own silver. And a lot of this is actually pretty interesting because he's going through the angle of the monetary system. Had Andy Schectman on last week. That video has almost 1 million views already. Andy Schectman's talking about the BRICS nations, a lot of that stuff. I don't even know if Robert understands the industrial part of things, why silver is so critical for the new green age, looking at the supply deficit, looking at all of that. So I might be able to actually bring something new to the table, which is just as, if not even more important, since we're talking about global warming and climate change and why silver could actually be something detrimental to make that not happen. So anyways, yeah, I'm nervous, but even more so, I'm excited for this opportunity to be able to speak to a much larger audience on a much bigger platform than mine. Yes, I'm nervous, but I know that's just leading up to it. As soon as that interview starts and we start talking silver, a light clicks on and I'm ready to go. I'm locked in. I know what I'm talking about and I'm confident in what I'm saying. So anyways, yeah, the link to this article will be in the description. I thought it was just kind of ironic. The new breaking news from Kitco today is talking about the person, which I'll be on his show tomorrow, Robert Kiyosaki. In another message to his followers, best-selling author of Rich Dad Poor Dad Robert Kiyosaki said, "It is time to use the Federal Reserve's aggressive stance to buy more gold and silver, even Bitcoin. As the Feds get ready to raise interest rates by another 75 basis points for the 4th time in a row at its November meeting, Kiyosaki says it's time to do some precious metals shopping, and that includes Bitcoin." See, that's an interesting point. I hope that I'm actually able to kind of pick his brain as well. Who knows where this interview could take us. But I really want his stance on a couple of things as well. We'll see what happens. Anyways, buying opportunity. If Fed continues raising interest rates, US dollar will get stronger, causing gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices to go lower. Buy more. When Fed pivots and drops interest rates, as England just did, you will smile while others cry. Take care. And yes, silver stackers will also get the last laugh. Always get the last laugh. Nothing else makes more sense. I could give you 10 reasons why silver will be much higher in the next decade. I can give you 10 reasons why stocks won't be higher in the next decade. So anyways, the US dollar strength, which has been keeping massive downward pressure on gold and silver, will not last, Kiyosaki added. All of the third quarter, the US dollar index traded near 20-year highs. Will US dollar follow the English pound sterling? I believe it will. I believe the US dollar will crash by January 2023 after the Fed pivots, he said in another recent tweet. So anyways, what does he mention here? He tweeted out, will the US dollar follow the English pound sterling? I believe it will. I believe the US dollar will crash by January 2023 after the Fed pivots. To profit from this crash, I bought many more US silver buffalo rounds. Silver is a bargain. I will not be a victim of the messed up system. Take care. Look how many likes that tweet has. 11,000. He has so many new eyes into the silver world, right? A lot. He's an investing, he's one of the bigger, names, celebrities in the world of investing. Not even really precious metals most of, since Rich Dad Poor Dad came out. Now he's talking about it. So these are all new eyes hearing, hey, what's this silver thing he's talking about? Then they watch his videos and his interviews like mine tomorrow of why silver makes the most sense. So there could be a lot of new people entering the silver market And that's when my role comes in. Tomorrow, my role is to also represent why silver is so important to have. So, anyways, to make money, the best-selling author said he is buying more silver to profit from the crash of the U.S. dollar. Bought many more U.S. silver buffalo rounds. Silver's a bargain. So yeah, interesting. He said silver rounds as well. I mean, yes, rounds. Generic rounds. Obviously, the cheapest way to go. Personally, I think that's a great way to go as well. I mean, tubes of rounds, even tubes of eagles. I mean, yes, I'm willing to pay the premium or even whatever. That's a whole separate video. Regardless, though, buying silver, right? Pounds of it, uh, looking at the weight of things, not even so much of semi-numismatics or detached from spot price, more of the intrinsical aspect as adding ounces to your stack could be more valuable in the long run as in terms to coins that could grow over the years as a collectible value. Anyways, Robert Kiyosaki sees silver jumping to 100 and then to $500 within this decade. Oh, yeah. The end is here. Oh, man. As I'm reading all this stuff that he's talking about, we could have such a good conversation. We will. The end is here. Called Jerry Williams, my trusted gold and silver dealer. He said, I can't get gold or silver coins. The mint will not sell to me anymore. Well, Robert, if you want to buy from the mint, I got you. All you got to do is send an email to info@milesfranklin.com because the company that I represent, that I work for, still can buy from the US Mint. The company I work for is one of the only few authorized dealers that can still purchase from the US Mint. So if you want to still have access to the US Mint as they cut off everyone else publicly, then send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Silver Slayer sent you, and you're set. You're good to go, Robert. To me, this means that the end of fake money is here. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Oh, and by the way, Robert, the company that I represent, Miles Franklin, they will match any price lower than theirs. So you literally cannot go to any other dealer that's cheaper than what I have to offer. So not only are you buying from one of the only mints or one of the only companies that can still buy through the US Mint, you're also buying from a company that has literally the lowest prices because if somewhere else has lower, send a screenshot or a link and Andy Scheckman they'll match the price. You cannot go anywhere lower. ETF and real estate crashing as predicted, middle class being wiped out. Silver to stay $20 3 to 5 years and then climb to 100 to 500. Everyone can afford a silver spoon or can afford silver, even the poor accumulate silver now. I don't know why I said spoon. But yeah, silver is very affordable. So let's look at this. The best-selling author cited the gold to silver ratio, stating that in the 20th century, the gold to silver ratio was at 47 to 1, which means that it took 47 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold. Right now, the ratio is 83 to 1. When I suggest to buy silver for 25 bucks, everyone can buy a silver coin. Don't take my word for it. Study, become rich. Don't be a fool. I like the way he talks. I mean, there's so many, and even just like he mentioned up here, when he was mentioning that 3 to 5 years silver could stay $20. That's around the time I talk about triple digit silver as well. By the year 2026, I mention triple digit silver for my own reasons, mainly from the industrial sector. I'm not going to go into those reasons why. That's a whole separate video. But there's a lot of similarities, and I see what he's saying. So here's an interview with him and Michelle McCory, which, by the way, I love watching those interviews. They bring up a lot of good stuff. The one with David Morgan in particular was really good, talking about the war side of things, especially as a single Tomahawk missile uses up to 500 ounces of silver. I brought that up when I interviewed David Morgan as well, and great stuff. Some really good stuff happening, and I'm glad I'm able to now be talking to these people directly. Be able to pick their brain from the questions I want to ask, not just hearing what other people have to ask. So, anyways, he says, anyone could afford silver, and really, it is It is that simple. It's just a lot of people are hesitant or skeptical. That's why he even said, do the research, right? And when I say, do your homework, just make sure the answers are correct, because there's a lot of misinformation. There are a lot of articles that will just try to downplay silver and for their own narrative, and I rip those articles apart. When you hear some type of person talking about why silver is bare and it shouldn't get into it, I rip those articles apart, because you can clearly tell they're misleading information, tweaking words for their own narrative, usually something that's pegged to the dollar. So, anyways, and like he even says, Bitcoin. When you take fake money, $20 bill, and put it into silver, you've just taken the power away from the government, from the feds. When you have your money in that, then you're a slave to the system. When you're in debt, you're a slave to the system. Take the power away from them and put it into your own hand. But also the physical aspect of it. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. If you and think of it like this: every ounce of silver you hold in your hand, theoretically, over 200 people also own that same ounce on the COMEX, but they don't actually own it. They think they do, but they don't own it. The only person that owns it is the one that has it in his hand. And once the COMEX collapses, then that will get exposed. That the digital, or the physical, or we'll say this: the digital paper silver market does not add up to the physical silver market. And when that gets exposed, even more so, silver's true value will arise. So, anyways, like he says, investors need to protect their portfolios with hard assets. And even Bitcoin, and that's what I was trying to go into as well, is Bitcoin is similar. It's decentralized. There's no central bank. There is no bank of Bitcoin. When you put your money into Bitcoin as well, you are in complete control. Keeping your money in a cold wallet like Exodus, nobody can access that. The banks can't access that. Nobody could even hack it. It's cold. It's stored offline. And that's another example. Now, yes, precious metals is safer because it's intrinsical. It's value within itself. It has real world purpose. Now, yes, you could say that the blockchain does as well and stuff, but a digit on a screen compared to something you can hold in your hand, obviously, precious metals physical is safer. And he said anything that can be printed, like stock certificate, bond, or a dollar, I don't want it. I'm a hardcore gold, silver, oil, and food buff. Hardcore, hard asset person. He suggested these assets are insurance rather than investment. And yes, you're putting your money into a time capsule basically. As a dollar loses purchasing power, you're putting your money into something that's held its value for over 5,000 years. 5,000 years. And it literally is putting your money in a time capsule. A walking Liberty $half could get you a gallon of gas back in the day, because 50 cents could get you a gallon of gas, right? A walking Liberty $half could still get you a gallon of gas today. 50 cents can't get you a gallon of gas, but I could take that walking Liberty, walk down to my local coin shop, sell it for $10, and get myself a couple gallons of gas. That one coin can still get me back in the day what it can today. But if I had 2 quarters back in the day to give me that 50-cent gallon of gas, 2 quarters cannot, it doesn't have silver inside of it anymore. So that those 2 quarters couldn't get me anything. When you put your money in silver, you're putting it in a time capsule. The dollar's lost 98% of its purchasing power. So, anyways, yeah, the link to this article will be in the description. I hope everyone understands this article, understands what Robert's saying. Hopefully, all of you will watch my interview on his channel tomorrow. Wish me luck. The Rich Dad Radio Show. I just got the Zoom link today. It made it even more real. Like, it's getting real now, and it's really kind of setting in. When I was talking to Andy about it, because Andy was just on his show last week, when I mentioned that, he also asked me to be on the show, Andy was like, are you prepared for this? This is a big deal. And I think that's kind of really what made me realize the severity of it, the magnitude of it, better word, the magnitude of it. Because, I'm used to talking about silver, it's natural at this point, but I'm always talking to an audience that's my audience that all of you already know about silver. I mean, there is, I'm sure there is some of you that found it from my, I mean, I get emails, but I'm talking to a completely different audience that probably doesn't even know, or has to hear why all of a sudden he's talking about silver, bringing on people to talk about silver. So I'm almost having to speak to an entirely different group of people that have no idea, probably haven't even heard or thought about silver yet. They're in stocks and other things like crypto. So I really have to come prepared and to represent why silver is so important to own. That's a whole different angle for me to play than my usual videos, and I like that. I like the challenge. I feel like I am a perfect candidate to do this, just because I can talk about the monetary aspect, but more importantly, what a lot of people aren't talking about, which is the industrial side of things as well. So, anyways, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Share it, whatever. Tweet it to Robert Kiyosaki. Maybe he could see this before the interview tomorrow as well, and then have even more questions to ask me as he kind of sees where my point of view is coming from, instead of just hearing it, right on the spot tomorrow. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.